Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Sarfa Junior Groho. Now, I would like to perform a storytelling, and the title of the story is Jaka Tarub. Enjoy. It was said that somewhere in Dadapan Village there was a pond where apsaras descended from heaven to take a bath. Jaka Tarub was a young man who lived in a small village. One day, he was hunting for a deer in Dadapan Village, but he didn't find any deer. While searching for a deer, he heard the sound of girls laughing, as the place is deep in the forest. Jaka Tarub wondered why there were girls there. He followed the sound and arrived at a small pond where he saw 7 apsaras descended from heaven to take a bath. The apsaras looked like young girls and were very beautiful. While the apsaras were bathing, Jaka sneaked out and took one of the shawls lying on a rock nearest to him and went back into hiding. He watched as the apsaras were chatting among themselves while bathing. After they finished and getting dressed, one of the apsaras, the youngest and the most beautiful of all, looked puzzled because she couldn't find her shawl, which was stolen by Jaka. Without her shawl, she couldn't fly back to heaven. Jaka heard the other apsaras called her Nawang Wulan, while they told her that it was getting late and they had to return to heaven, so couldn't stay with her to look for her shawl. After the apsaras had gone, Jaka Tarub showed himself and pretended to offer his help. The trustful Nawang Wulan agreed to go with Jaka Tarub to his home. Eventually, the two fell in love and got married. It turned out that Nawang Wulan was a good wife and were very skillful in doing house chores without making any effort. Moreover, their rice supply seems like never decreased after he married her. But Nawang Wulan forbade Jaka to look inside the rice cooker while she cooked rice. Not long after, Nawang Wulan got pregnant, and at the time she gave birth to a baby girl whom they named Nawangsi. Now, added with the task of taking care of a baby, but Nawang Wulan still seems no difficulties in doing her house chores, while most other women would have some difficulties in doing all she did. Feeling very curious about all this, Jaka tried to find out her secret. He did what Nawang Wulan forbade him to do. He opened the lid of the rice cooker and looked inside it. He found out that Nawang Wulan only used 1 grain of rice to cook into a full rice cooker. Now he knew why their rice supply was never decreased, and there all these times Nawang Wulan had been using his Apsara power to do house chores. But something happened after Jaka peeked inside the rice cooker. Nawang Wulan began to have various difficulties in doing her tasks. Furthermore, their rice supply was beginning to decrease. Nawang Wulan had lost her Apsara powers and became an ordinary human being. When their rice supply was nearly used up, Nawang Wulan unintentionally saw her old shawl lurking from below the rice supply while she went to the granary to get some rice. To her surprise, she found out that it was Jaka who stole her shawl all along, which meant her couldn't go back to heaven. She was angry, and now that she had found her shawl, she decided to return to heaven. Jaka pleaded her not to leave, but her decision was final. But before she went, Nawang Wulan asked to Jaka to build a hut outside their house and told him to leave Nawangsi there every night. And then he should never look inside the hut while she was there to nurse the baby. Since then, Jaka put Nawangsi to the hut every night until she grew up. Nawang Wulan always cared about her family from heaven and always provided help for her family when they needed it. The end. Yeah, that was my storytelling. I hope you enjoy my video. Thank you.